It's the red carpet occasion for Social Entrepreneurs Ireland, as tonight is the night when awardees are acknowledged and their effort and endeavour affirmed. But there's no profit in this business, so what's it all about? Ireland on Business went to find out.
Set up in 2004, Social Entrepreneurs Ireland is the enterprise Ireland in Ireland's social field, as it seeks to identify, engage and support social enterprise and the social entrepreneurs behind them.
The whole idea about social entrepreneurship is people who are taking up a leadership position, coming up with innovative new ways of creating social value, of solving some problems that we have in society. Now, they can be not-for-profit organisations, they can be charities, they can be businesses that are contributing back to society. We don't really care. What we want to see is that leader, that inspirational figure who's going to inspire the rest of us to go out and make a difference.
No stranger to commercial entrepreneurs and backing them, the Social Entrepreneur Ireland's culture resonated with NTR, and it was this cultural fit that sought back the organisation.
NTR celebrates the entrepreneur. It's right at the heart of our legacy and heritage. And we, in the context of social entrepreneurs, we saw an entity, an organisation that had the same values, backing the entrepreneurs, parenting the entrepreneurs, supporting the entrepreneurs. Effectively, they're doing in the social context what we're doing in the market context. And so the fit was very clear, and we're delighted to be supporting the awards here tonight.
Similar to other enterprise awards is the range of different endeavour on view, some spawned out of personal need, but all addressed by the entrepreneur's compulsion to meet it.
Working as a fundraiser with Down Syndrome Ireland, the parents were absolutely screaming for speech and language therapy for their children. They were getting about 6 to 12 hours a year, which is just absolutely not enough. And one of the parents said that if I knew what to do, I'd do it myself, but I'm not even allowed at the therapy. So a little spark went off in my head, and I thought, well, if you got groups of kids in together and the parents were invited, the speech therapist taught the parents how to be the child's speech therapist, they could bring it home and the child's communication would increase.
When we lost Rachel, there was no parental support out there. And it was one of the most things that we wanted as a family, to talk to somebody else, and at any bereaved parent to just touch base with another bereaved parent to see, is this normal, the way I feel, is it normal, what can I do to help myself, what can I do to help my family. When we came together with other bereaved parents, that we recognised this, that when we were together we had the comfort from each other, the understanding that we got from each other, and we just then said, well look, can we take it to the next step?
Basically, we just looked at the world and we said there were so many problems out there. We just didn't think it was fair that 50% of the world was on less than $2 a day, that there was so much crime out there, there was corruption in politics and in business, and just there was so much unethical leadership and unsustainable leadership that we said we needed to do something about it. And we just set up an organisation to help young people become great leaders so that they could lead great change in the world, to try and bring about transformation in all the many problems that are out there.
Guest speaker for the evening was Liam Black. One of the first pioneers in social enterprise, his stewardship has helped celebrity chef Jamie Oliver's 15 apprenticeship programme break the cycle of urban poverty.
Jamie's insight was that, the industry needs bright, passionate, driven young people who care about food. There's lots of young people out there that need a chance. Why don't we try and bring those two things together? And not fanning about with, a kind of burger chain, but a really high quality restaurant where the discipline, the creativity, the structure, the solidarity of that would address the social needs of the young people while they're learning how to cook. And after a difficult start, we got there. And I'm completely convinced that the way to reach young people is to offer them something that they want. What Jamie did, he made cooking cool for young men. It was seen as an older bloke's thing or a woman's thing. He made it cool for young urban males, and through the 15 apprenticeship, opened the door for them to start coming through. We're now in the 7th group in the London restaurant, the 5th one in Amsterdam, the 3rd one in Melbourne and Cornwall, and the model is working. And what's great about it is it generates the money to do the training. So we're not beholden to anyone's generosity, we're beholden to our own quality of food, the quality of service, and the success of the business. And the young people pick that up. They know that we're giving them the most important thing that we've got, which is our brand. We have 110,000 people a year come through the London restaurant alone. That's a lot of dinners. And most of the time, the dinner's being cooked by these young people.
Unlike other awards ceremonies, there's no fussy frocks and there's no black ties. This is a more understated affair, but the endeavour is no less worthy.
Everyone who gets awarded tonight gets awarded because they are have not completed something, but they are beginning and are moving along a journey of making a change and a difference to people's lives. Really, what these awards are tonight are a celebration of both these people and the great organisations they are launching as social entrepreneurs, but also a celebration of the possibility and potential for all of us to contribute to that journey, for all of us to help drive that change, for all of us to make this a more equitable and fairer world that we live in.
Well, I think what you see here tonight, you see an awful lot of inspirational people. Their stories are inspirational, they're inspirational in their own right. And it's fantastic the way they're networking and mixing with the very eclectic mix of business people, government people, and entrepreneurs need to be cheered on. I mean, they need to be supported. It's a lonely job as an entrepreneur. You're generally working with inadequate resources to meet some great need. And they need to be encouraged, recognised and supported in that journey. And in a sense what I was acknowledging tonight is that we should all be cheering them, and I'm certainly cheering them.
Often change doesn't happen without resistance, and by encountering it and nurturing and supporting the entrepreneur, Social Entrepreneurs Ireland seeks to achieve that change.
The most difficult thing, people believing in you. Trying to, if you have an idea, you have to turn it into an organisation, so you need all different people to come together, and money. You need money. We can't create these amazing organisations unless we've got resources. But the believing in you, the dismissiveness is quite tough at times, and it can be very lonely, very, very lonely place at times.
If the equation is 2 + 2 = 5, then SEI is the plus in the middle, and it is just without Social Entrepreneurs Ireland, I don't know where we'd be, and it's just helped us so much, not just financially, but the support and knowing that there's a group of people in an office in Stephen's Green that are willing to help us at any time of any day is just so comforting.
Release would have died 6 times if it wasn't for the help and intervention of SEI. And that wasn't just money, it was mentorship, it was being at the end of the line, it was introducing me to other people that could help. I mean, I was a fundraiser and a marketer, I wasn't a business person, and it's like MBA 101 with full support.
For Liam Black, 15 has been more than a social exercise. It's a huge commercial success, with maybe some lessons for more conventional business.
I think that our staff are so engaged. This is the chefs, the waiters, the buyers, the kitchen porters are so engaged with what we do because of the social purpose and the young people. So I think you can get talent that you haven't had before, and you can really get your staff bought into this, and it makes them more productive. Our sick days are way better than any other restaurant in London. Our turnover of staff is less. So there's lots of business reasons, I think, to think broader than just the one bottom line. And I'm really passionate that in cities like London, and I'm sure Dublin as well, finding ways to reach out to young people is the right thing to do, and it's also there's a thing of self-interest. I showed a picture earlier on of Barnaby. He said, it's much better I'm in the kitchen cooking your dinner than out nicking your car. And there's a logic there you can't argue with, isn't there?
Only in operation 4 years on a formal footing in Ireland, social entrepreneurship is taking hold as a recognised means to deliver substantial change.
I think that what we're going to see is a society, a community where social entrepreneurship, everyone understands what we mean by that, and everyone feels that they have the potential to be a social entrepreneur. It doesn't mean they need to change the world. It can mean that they take a social entrepreneurial approach to changing or dealing with a problem at street level. It could be within their town or village. It could be within their community. It could be across the county. It could be across the nation. But really what it is people feeling that yes, they can make a difference, and really what they need to do in order to make that difference is come up with some new way of addressing the problem and actually get out there and try and make it happen. And really that's the essence of social entrepreneurship. And when we have that understanding in Ireland, then we'll find that people will be there to support them, both with practical support but also with moral support. Just saying, hey, you know what, you're doing a good job, well done you for trying. And when we get to that in 3 to 5 years' time, then we'll have a society that really starts to tackle its problems.
As social enterprise continues to develop throughout Ireland, no doubt Ireland's social entrepreneurs will face the same more competitive pressures encountered by their commercial counterparts. But where there's a need, there's a solution, and by taking the initiative to implement it, so social enterprise will expand for the betterment of Ireland Inc. This is Barry Keane for Ireland on Business at the Social Entrepreneurs Ireland Awards in Dublin.